I've noticed that it's pretty traditional for makers on YouTube to ring in the new year by sharing a review of what they did in the old. And so, submitted for your approval, here are my makes for 2022. Yeah, 2022 was not a productive year when it came to making things for videos. Now, I did make a few things. I had to make some things for work. I made a dress. I made a 1912 dress for Costume College, but I didn't make a video for that because it's so far out of our time period. I'd also made Eric a new Lansconnect Puff and Slash, and I had planned on that being a video too, but circumstances destroyed that plan. You see, 2022 was a year of trials. It all started on Christmas Eve of 2021, and I was sitting here getting ready to go live for my 12 lives of Christmas, and I got the scariest phone call. It was the emergency room, and Eric had been admitted. Or, I guess not admitted, but Eric was in the emergency room, and my heart just dropped. Nope, not gonna go down that road. Turns out he had had a seizure while he was at work. They had to call the paramedics, and the paramedics took him to the emergency room. Long story short, he was okay, but we were left with a lot of questions about what was going on. We spent the next several months dealing with trying to figure out what was going on with his health. And it was resolved eventually, but that wasn't until May. So it was many months of just being a lot of unknown. Now, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about it because it's his story to tell. What I can say is that it was an incredibly emotional and emotionally draining time for me. And honestly, I really do think that the strength to make it through came from my faith. And so I feel really blessed to have that. In the midst of all that, my boss decided to retire, and I was asked if I would cover his position as an emergency hire until they could list the position and hire somebody to fulfill it. Now, I knew that I wanted to apply for that position when they did list it, so I really wanted to prove I could do it, and I could do it well. And just as I was starting to cover for him, I came down with COVID. So it was 2 weeks that I couldn't do my job. So that was just another layer of added stress. I got better, and now I was working full time, and we were just going back after 2 years of working from home. So I was not only learning a new position, but I was navigating through a whole lot of unknown stuff about what was happening when we came back. It was a lot. It was a lot of stress. On top of dealing with Eric's health, and of course working full time, also took up the time that I had been using to make videos. Just as Eric's health issues were starting to be resolved, they listed the position, and I applied, and it was an ever-loving slog. It was an absolute nightmare. I had to put together a resume because I haven't had to do that for years. I had to list every show I've ever worked on in any capacity ever. I had to fill out the long applications. I know it sounds like I'm complaining here, but really I'm just trying to express where my head was. I was just overwhelmed with everything, and so it was really hard for me to even get that done, and that was something I really wanted. So I had to go through the whole interview process, and that took like 6 weeks. I didn't know if I was going to get the position or not. It was a nationwide search. It was, again, a whole lot of unknown. It was another month and a half just waiting on pins and needles. But I was still working on a project for a video. Daisy, Victoria, and I had come up with a collaboration where we were going to make historical Loki variants, and I was really excited about it. So I spent most of my free time working on building it, and then after that, I began to edit it. And I was already really late. This was supposed to be for October, and here it was January, and I was just getting started editing it. There was a lot of footage to edit. It was probably my biggest undertaking yet. I don't even know how many hours I spent. I mean, it's probably near to like 100 hours I spent just on editing it. It was a lot. And it was around May when I was about ready to finish it. I was maybe less than an hour away from finishing it. I just had to do some polishing work on it. I was so close to being done. and I dropped my hard drive. I went to go plug it in to start working on it, and it would not load. It would not load. It would not load. I was just devastated because I hadn't backed up most of the footage. I know. Stupid, 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 stupid. Believe me, that'll never happen again. And that ended up being the last straw. It was like I had just, all my creativity had been sucked dry. It was an empty hull, a shell. It felt like I had lost my sense of humor, my sense of fun, my sense of whimsy, and I just didn't have it in me to make another video. I tried, but it just wasn't there. But July came around and things started looking up. Eric's health was doing really well. He had gotten a promotion and a raise. I was offered the position and I accepted, of course. And in August, I attended costume college and I had such a great time. And I felt that tingle of inspiration starting to come back. And so I was able to put together a video that I released in September. And then I did another one for October. I'm still struggling with time management and how to create videos up to my standard, I should say, and still be able to work full time. You know, I don't make resolutions. Instead, I pick a theme for the year. And so my theme for 2023 is going to be consistency, realistic consistency. So that's the major goal for me this year, in not only in my personal life, but also for my YouTube life. I really do want to make consistency a priority. That means that I am going to work on releasing on a consistent schedule. My goal is to at least once a month have a video. My stretch goal is to have a video every other week. As far as content that I do have planned, I already am working on some videos about feathers and some sewing techniques. I also plan to do some experimentation with some things I want to try out that may veer out of the world of sewing, but are still related to 16th century German reenactment. That's my passion, and I really want to share that with you. I want to share the things that make me tick. And one of those is experimental archaeology and trying things out in the manner that people would have done it back in the 16th century. I also plan on some video essays about the German Renaissance. I also plan to have a series of fundamentals. One of them is for sleeves and one for skirts, and it's about how they would have been done in the 16th century. I'm really looking forward to that one. I'm also still trying to figure out how to share the Landsknecht puff and slash I made for Eric. I mean, all the footage of everything for me making it, it's gone, 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 gone. So I'm thinking I might do a get ready with me, getting dressed sort of a video where I show him getting dressed and the different components and how they go together. I'm also working on a Ledergaller for that outfit, and I am making that into a video for sure. And I am backing up that footage. As a matter of fact, if there's any subject that you would like to see us cover, please feel free to let us know in the comments. I do get a lot of my ideas and inspiration from reading the comments, from the questions, and the suggestions. So you're always welcome to that. And the company itself, you know, is Elisa, Mullen, and I, and we have plans to expand what we're selling on our Etsy shop to do. Oh, hey.
Snacky, snacky.
Food. Oh, thank you, baby. Thank you. Thank you. We want to have more reenactment gear. We want to have more, you know, t-shirts and mugs and fun little stickers, as well as more PDF print-on-demand patterns, which we're really excited about that. So keep an eye out for those things in the coming year. And in that vein, I'd like to invite you to come along with us by subscribing so that you'll see and be notified of when we do have new videos and when we have announcements for items that we have coming to the shop. But before I go, I really want to thank you for all of your support, for watching our videos and buying from our Etsy shop and sending us super thanks and all the things that you do, your comments, your likes, your subscribing. Thank you. This has become my outlet for sharing the things I've learned from other people and giving back and sharing them with you in the hopes that you too can increase your skills and grow as a creator. I love the idea of us growing together by my sharing of my knowledge and my successes as well as my failures, because you know, those failures are where you learn the most. You are the reason I keep making videos. So thank you, and may God bless you in this coming year.